I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're journeying into the enchanting world of a wonderful book. It is called Saving Alezia's Baby, and it's written by a terrific author by the name of Gary Love. This delightful children's book combines heartfelt storytelling with beautiful illustrations to teach valuable lessons in trust. Join us as we explore this captivating story, perfect for young readers and giraffe lovers alike. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Gary, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me on.
Great having you on the show. This is such a unique, inspired story, well written, well told. And it was a collaboration of sorts between you and your sister, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, indeed. My sister did the original story, and it concentrated on the savannah and teaching the new giraffe quite a few things about it. And she wanted to have the little one was, are we better than everybody else? And she had sort of other emphasis than I did, and the storyline sort of meandered. And so I took it because I had to illustrate it. And I did that, by the way, by grabbing graphics from all over the internet. And then I used some graphics editing tools to create the illustrations that you see. And I
Wow.
did that as a draft graphic that the professional illustrator converted to the book. And they did a wonderful job, I must say. And so that was the process. I streamlined that storyline and I came up with the ending, which I'm very pleased with. It starts out the way hers did, um, with the mother, having a stressful day, giving birth to this wonderful new giraffe. And the very first thing was he wants to know what his name is. And in the original story, she tried a couple of names, and she gave him Percy. And well, he thought that was a weak name. When my daughter said, "Daddy, you can't," that came out. And my battery is going low. Um, and so that came out, and I just called him Tarzone, and we went with that. And we didn't have any any value judgments on the name. From
Good.
there, though, he had to have some knowledge of where they were, and they lived on this wonderful savannah, which is, for them, it's just like paradise. And so she uh, had to instruct him what animals are friendly to them, which ones are maybe dangerous. The bigger ones. Watch out for the rhinos. Watch out for the elephants. And he says, "Well, mommy, we're big. How are they big? Aren't they big in a different way?" And she says, "Yes, they're white and we are tall." A distinction on big. Um, then um, they met a pride of lions, and she said, "Those are the dangerous ones, so watch out for them." So at that point, she wanted to introduce him to her friends. She had a group of giraffe friends, and well, as a young man, he wasn't interested in the old ladies. So he wanders off and immediately falls into a mud hole. And that's a treacherous place out there. And as luck would have it, a lioness sees him go in and approaches, and she's going to have a meal. And the group notices he's gone. It raises a huge ruckus. Where is he? And calls for help. Well, as luck would have it, a passing elephant hears the call, and he comes running. And he approaches the lioness and says, "You better run." And He rescues him. He pulls him out of the hole. He trumpets his success. Everybody cheers. Everybody is happy. And I'm very proud. I gave him a name that I researched. It doesn't exist in the literature. It sounds like a Roman name, but his name is Brutimus.
Okay.
The elephant is Brutimus, and that's how it ends. And the Tarzan reflects on, "Mommy, I now know that big isn't always scary."
Great. That
So
is a
yeah,
wonderful a moral for a child to learn that size sometimes doesn't matter. Just because someone's bigger than you or different than you doesn't mean that they should be in fear of them. They can be very, very helpful. We all need that big friend who can pull us out of a mud hole every now and then.
that's
That's,
right.
yeah. So that's great. Did your background in science influence your approach to writing and illustrating this book?
I'll tell you where it helped is I've written a lot of technical reports.
Mhm.
And so I have a good grasp of the language, and I was able to write concisely and clearly. And that was commented on in reviews that it was written that way. And I also wanted it accessible by the child. So I tried to pair the language with the illustration in such a way that the child can appreciate it. And when the parent reads it, it would be meaningful to him too, or to
Yeah.
her. Um, and let's see, there was, I guess I'm just wondering now.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you and Carol collaborating on any future projects?
Well, I'm trying to.
Mhm.
What came out of this, I have been encouraged now to write my own children's books.
Mm.
And so, literally, in a few hours on an afternoon, I came up with the a synopsis of 6 books
Mhm.
that have a lesson at the end, a
Great.
modern lesson that it would be meaningful. Um, Give you a thumbnail of just one.
Mhm.
Uh, you're familiar with. I'm saying too much. You're familiar with the tortoise and the hare. Well, immediately after the winning, the tortoise turns to a snail and challenges him to the same race. Well, everybody had left, so the tortoise has to round everybody up and ultimately loses the race to the snail. And the lesson there was don't let success go to your head,
Mm.
you know?
Exactly. Exactly. No,
Exactly. And that's
that's a
modern.
cute spin on a classic, that's for sure.
Yeah. And it's a new spin on the classic. There were some others. There's one that a lot of people really appreciate. It's going to be about a bee in a hive, and
Mm.
he's very unsuccessful. He finds the honey, but he can't communicate it. And so pretty soon he's just ignored by the hive.
Mm.
And so he goes to the hive counselor, and the counselor says, well, just get some shades and just, go off to the side. Well, he gets some shades, and he goes out and he discovers that he finds the honey. He comes back and he tells the hive, and they find the honey.
Mm.
Well, lo and behold, he got polarized sunglasses. Well, bees have polarized lenses. His weren't. And that corrected his vision. And he was able to then become a hero of the hive. And so the lesson is don't let physical limitations, get in the way of your life.
That's
Uh,
perfect because it's tough on a kid when they get the diagnosis that they need glasses because they feel like, oh no, I'm a four eyes or something like that. So
yeah,
that's a great way to help children deal with that, accept that, and realize it's bettering their lives. Let me ask you this before we leave you today. Have you pictured Saving Elysia's Baby as a animated feature perhaps or a cartoon?
I haven't. It it's sort of mind-boggling to me because it is a short story.
Right.
Now then, if I were to do that, I'd have to fill in the frames
Yeah.
of the story, and certainly there were leaps taken there, and it would be possible to do. Um, um, I
Add
know
some
that.
musical interludes and so forth, or maybe a song. I think that is what we do when we're telling sometimes simple children's tales and making them accessible to the masses, is that we let the children savor it a little bit, watch the giraffes play, learn about the other animals a little more. So flush it out a little more. So there's always a big adaptation between the screenplay and the original work. So I think this would be great. I think kids would
Yeah,
love it. I think they're fascinated by giraffes. I know I am. So
yeah.
I guess they are too. We
Well,
got to leave you now, Gary, but
and
let's tell folks at home the name of the book. It is Saving Alezia's Baby. It's written by Gary Love and his sister. This is a delightful children's book that combines heartfelt storytelling with beautiful illustrations and teaches valuable lessons, particularly and especially in trust. Gary, thank you so much for joining us here today on
oh,
Spotlight.
thank you very
I,
much.
I appreciate your time. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time, this time until next time on Spotlight.